excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves, he can punch, he can do it all.
Boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard believes that despite the clear weight difference between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the smaller Crawford still has a real chance. Leonard pointed out that boxing is about more than just size. Strategy, timing, and self-belief can overcome physical disadvantages. He sees Crawford as a fighter skilled enough to find a way through. His words show the high level of respect Crawford has earned from veterans who truly understand the mental side of the sport.
What about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap, or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terence.
That's true. But you know what? There's always a way. Put it that there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
With the fight confirmed, analysts are eyeing a clash of styles. Canelo Alvarez brings explosive power, calculated pressure, and sharp combinations, especially dangerous against hesitant opponents.
I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly, but Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that, and Canelo can counter people.
Terence Crawford brings elite movement, unpredictable angles, and the ability to shift momentum. Experts say his best shot is to take control early with speed and volume to disrupt Canelo's rhythm. If not, Canelo's size and strength could wear him down. Still, Crawford's adaptability, reflexes, and ring IQ give him a real chance if he stays disciplined and sticks to a sharp game plan. This matchup is shaping up to be a true chess match.
As great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius, and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season. Again, I'm disappointed for Jake Paul, but I am happy for boxing fans, because my God, this is the treat of the
Turki Alshik, the Saudi official leading the region's sports expansion, stood confidently between Crawford and Canelo, calling their September fight a future boxing classic. His presence highlights the event's global significance. By backing both fighters, he's helped elevate the fight's visibility, turning it into more than just a big match. It's a landmark moment for international boxing. His excitement reflects the massive hype and investment surrounding this high-stakes showdown.
And fist up. Terence, good. Excellent. Great. Wonderful.
Because we are true fighters.
Yeah, two fighters.
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk shit about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. We want to put a great fucking fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk
I am sure in the end in the mid of September we will have one of the greatest fight ever happen in boxing, and I am sure of it. I am sure.
Terence Crawford's rise through boxing's toughest divisions has been remarkable. A 3-division champion who remains undefeated, he stands out not for power alone, but for his elite skills. Known for reading opponents in real time, Crawford's sharp footwork, timing, and smooth stance switching make him unpredictable and highly adaptable. He controls distance with precision and applies pressure smartly, forcing mistakes without taking unnecessary risks.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming tap, and it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he isn't orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher, and now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not. You gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op, because he walks you down and whips your ass.
Crawford doesn't chase knockouts. He creates them by breaking opponents down mentally and physically. His high ring IQ lets him make smart mid-fight adjustments that shift momentum, while his calm, tactical style may not always impress casual fans. Trainers and experts see him as one of the most complete boxers of his era. His dominance comes not from flash, but from consistent strategy and flawless fundamentals. In a sport where adaptability wins, Crawford's brilliance is clear.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming tap, and it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he isn't orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher, and now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not. You gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op, because he walks you down and whips your ass.
Nico Ollie Walsh revealed that Crawford has been sparring with heavier opponents to prepare for Canelo's size and strength. These sessions aim to condition Crawford's body to absorb power shots and stay composed during physical exchanges. It's a smart move to lessen the impact of the size gap on fight night. Instead of fearing the weight difference, Crawford is embracing it, sharpening his reflexes, balance, and resistance to face Canelo head-on.
I think, people are going to watch it, so it's an exciting matchup.
And we have another mega fight, let's be honest, September. Canelo and Crawford, two guys
Yes.
been around that you've trained with and things like that.
Yes.
Fight.
That fight, everyone was siding towards Canelo. I would say it was like 80-20 people with Canelo before Canelo's last fight. But then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight. And Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing.
Moving up in weight won't change the core of who Terence Crawford is as a fighter. Analysts expect him to stick to what made him great: sharp footwork, elite timing, and precise counterpunching. While Canelo will bring pressure and power, Crawford doesn't need to fight with brute strength. Trying to trade shots could backfire against one of boxing's most accurate punchers. Instead, Crawford's edge lies in controlling the pace, creating angles and landing clean shots. This fight will test his discipline more than his power, and his path to victory depends on smart, calculated execution, not aggression.
Terence Crawford gonna beat Canelo Alvarez. We need to talk about it. We look at the guys who've had success with Canelo. We'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power. Nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. While both can have a bit of similarities, the speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan, come into a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely. Damn near impossible.
Veteran boxer Kell Brook, who has faced both Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, sees Canelo Alvarez as a rare threat, combining power, precision, and high-level ring IQ. He warns that Canelo can dominate both physically and mentally, making him especially dangerous. Brook believes Crawford's key to victory lies in staying mentally sharp under pressure. This fight, he says, is less about raw power and more about timing, decision-making, and composure. To win, Crawford must match Canelo in tactical discipline and mental focus.
It's a wow fight, you know what I mean? It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring, but he's very much a good mover as well. Do you feel like he's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to?
Well, I don't know. I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches. Chucking shots and moving, you know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his...
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas sees the fight as a true clash of elite styles. While he acknowledges Canelo's power, size, and body shots as major threats, he believes Crawford's intelligence, timing, and footwork could be the difference. Atlas calls Crawford a thinking man's fighter who reads and adapts in real time. For him, it's not about dominance. It's about who can impose their style first. In his view, the fight is much closer than people think. with both men bringing world-class skills in their own way.
Big and, you know, Crawford, as good as he is, he stepped up with Matrimorph and he struggled a little bit. You know, he won, but it was more competitive. We thought, well, we didn't understand how good Matrimorph was because we underestimated because he only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights. He was a good, solid fighter, right? And he's on this card, of course, but he was a good, solid fighter. We didn't understand that, so we started to knock down Crawford a little bit because our expectations were so high, and that's wrong. That's wrong. He won, he changed gears, he did what he had to do when he realized the level of this guy in front of him, and he got the win. But again, people are going to say Canelo's too big. He had trouble with a 154-pound guy when he went up from welterweight to that. So now he's going up to 168. Teddy, come on. How are you going to make an argument? You make an argument to this, to the history of this sport, where little guys have been able to be big guys, because you reverse it. You reverse who's got the advantage and the disadvantage. Yeah, the size, the power of Canelo, he's got the advantage. Then all of a sudden you go back and you say, wait a minute.
Despite the respect for Terence Crawford's skill, many believe Canelo Alvarez's size and strength could be the deciding factor. Canelo has beaten champions at 168 pounds and beyond, taking punches from much bigger men than Crawford has faced. Critics argue that unless Crawford can land clean shots consistently and stay on the move, Canelo's relentless pressure and durability may eventually wear him down and turn the tide of the fight.
A lot of people's picking Terence Crawford to beat Canelo. I'm curious, how many people are picking Terence Crawford to take a shot like this? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody? That's the scary part about this fight. I don't know how Bud gonna react. This shit gonna jolt his body. I think this could potentially end the fight immediately. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't even imagine Terence Crawford laid out like this, but if a left hook like this lands flush on his jaw, I think he's gonna be unconscious. Not TKO, not, getting stopped by the ref. I think his body's gonna shut off. Is he gonna land this shot? I don't know. We gotta wait and see. But what I do know is Edgar Berlanga is a natural super middleweight, if not larger. He's 200 plus pounds. He's a linebacker. He took this shot and it put him straight on his ass. He went out for a second. He did. I gotta be honest. Edgar Berlanga body shut down for a second. He absolutely floored Berlanga with this shot. That is why I come to the conclusion, if Canelo lands this shot on a natural welterweight, I think his body's gonna shut off.